Children, why do we even look at past climates? Because we want to understand what are the possible climate situations on the planet. Can we be as hot as Venus? We know that we cannot. Can we be as cold as Mars? We know we have been very cold in the past, and we have had the hot house. Remember, dinosaurs were running around all the way to the Arctic, and there were no glaciers at some point, but we were not around. So now we are worried about global warming and melting glaciers. In the past, we have evidence that there was actually almost a complete freeze of the planet. They are called Snowball Earth episodes. Happened 3 times as far as we know. What are the evidences? It's funny, but when you have ocean with oxygen inside, you can cover the surface with sea ice, snow, glaciers, and so on, and life can still go on in the ocean and oxygen being released. So the question is really, can we use the great ice albedo feedback we have discussed before to freeze the Earth all the way to the equator? If you do cover the entire ocean with ice, how do we get light inside? Then we say, well, it was not solid ice, it was slushy, then we call it snowball earth. And how do we come out of it? This is very critical. If you go into a frozen state, ice albedo feedback is doing all its work to reflect sunlight, keep the planet cold, and so on. Remember, there are volcanic mountains sticking out of the ice, and there are volcanoes under the ocean. Volcanic activity will not stop, so volcanoes will keep spitting out ash, CO2, and many other gases, sulfur, etc. What about the ash and clouds of dust and so on? They tend to cool the climate, but all that CO2 will begin to accumulate in the atmosphere, and eventually the atmosphere will get warm enough to start melting the snow and ice. And again, remember the ice albedo feedback. If you melt a little, albedo decreases, more energy is kept from the sun and warms, more snow and ice melt, and we get into this positive feedback that we talked about, where the albedo keeps decreasing, glaciers, ice, and snow continue to melt, and slowly we come out of it. There are many ways in which we know that the glaciation came very low into the low latitudes, into the tropics. We won't discuss the technical details, it's too much for little kids, but you can read about it if you're old enough or listen to my other podcasts. See you.